Hey, folks, you've entered the Black Parent Finance YouTube channel where we talk about Black money, parenting, and building a legacy for our families in the future. My name is Brian Owens. I have been working in the finance technology sector for the last 5 years and have been an entrepreneur, engineer, author, and a number of other things on my resume. Again, I am a Black dad. I have my wife, Kambari Owens. We have 3 children, and I'm here wanting to build wealth for my family. So this is what this channel is all about. So if you're a Black parent and you're interested in this type of content, make sure you like and subscribe, and we can knock this out and build wealth together. Black parents, welcome back. So today I want to talk about this joyous holiday time, Christmas time. But the problem is it's often filled with a lot of pressure for us parents. Right, you got kids that want tons of stuff from Target and PlayStation and all these various things they want, and then for you, the financial burden is on your shoulders. So today, what I want to talk about is 4 reasons why you should not be gifting this holiday season. So let's go ahead and jump into it here. Reason number 1 is you have high interest consumer debt. So you got $5,000 on a credit card. And what is consumer debt? First, what is consumer debt? Consumer debt is things like personal loans, unsecured debt, credit cards, store cards. These are all credit or all consumer debt that typically is very high interest. And the reason why it's high interest is because it was called unsecured. There's nothing backing it. So for example, a mortgage, on the other hand, has your home that is the underlying asset that is securing that loan. Now, unsecured debt is credit cards. There's nothing there holding, like nothing that's collateral that's like actually holding it. So they see that as credit, or excuse me, money that is more risky. So more risky money typically means more higher interest rates, right? So those are things that you want to make sure. So like the thing is now, because the Fed raised their rates, a lot of this consumer debt that's out here has also risen, right? So like your credit cards may have went from like 10% now to 20%, or from 15 to 22, 24%. I think the average right now is about 24% for a regular credit card. Store cards can go even higher than that. Just say you got a Target card, or you have a Macy's card, or whatever those. Every company has their cards, right? So just say you have one of those cards, those can go from 30 to 33%, right? So if you have high interest consumer debt, you should not be buying gifts. Put that money that you are going to put towards the gifts towards paying down that debt, and then speak with your family, friends, and have a conversation about it. Say you have different goals that you're trying to achieve, specifically getting out of debt, this high interest consumer debt, right? Like you're trying to pay off these things. And let's be honest, guys. Let's be honest. Most of the things you're purchasing is going to have a high dopamine hit. You're going to put it on Instagram for some photos, right? And the kids are going to love it. And then maybe a month later, sometimes as soon as 2 weeks later, the kids have forgotten about it, right? But you're saddled with, the bills that come with that, right? So like, if you have high interest consumer debt, you should not be buying gifts this summer. Again, have a conversation with your family if you have different goals. I think that's one of the things that we definitely want to make sure we're talking about and making sure we're having these conversations, because if we're trying to build wealth, one of the ways to do that is to pay down or pay off, this debt that we have kind of hanging by our wayside, right? So, all right. So number 2 that we want to talk about, you have no emergency fund set up. You're sitting here, no type of money in a savings account somewhere that if something were to happen, your car break down, the heat go out in your house, or there's a plumbing issue, you have nothing to kind of pull from in order to address that situation, right? Like I think stats have stated that I think 50 or 40% of individuals in America have a hard time coming up with $400 for an emergency. So my advice to you is to make sure you're actually have $1,000 saved up per person that is dependent on you. Okay. I think up to about $5,000 would be appropriate. But my thing is, you just never know what's going to happen. One of the things that I've learned throughout my life is that it is completely unpredictable. Like even last week, I had to get 4 new tires for one of our cars. It cost me $600. You know, that could have tapped people out if they were in a situation where they didn't have that money, right? And what do? You tap into your credit cards, which goes back to number one, right? So make sure you have that emergency fund set up and have the money there. That when the life gives us our twists and turns, you can address that without having to go into extra debt with a personal loan, credit cards, etc., and then put you in a worse position than if you did have that money. So again, number two is you don't have an emergency fund set up. If you don't have an emergency fund set up, you should not be buying gifts this holiday season. Again, I know it's going to be disappointing typically for kids or for family members, and we always have this pressure of gift exchange. You bought me something, so I need to buy you something. Let's have that conversation and saying, listen, don't buy me anything, I won't buy you anything, and we can both put our money to work in the right places. So that's one of the things I definitely want to talk about in this particular segment. Again, so number two, you don't have an emergency fund set up. You should not be buying gifts this holiday season. All right, number three, you're living paycheck to paycheck right now, right? Like you have just enough money in order to cover your expenses, or maybe you're not even covering your expenses every single month. Like this is, you should not be buying gifts or extending yourself even further for things, the discretionary items that people really don't need, right? Like, all right, yes, just say your toaster broke or whatever case is, and you're buying a Black Friday deal, buying a new toaster. Okay, because your family likes toast. That is a fine thing to do because you're buying a need that your household or your family needs in order to get the things they want inside the house. In this case, toast, right? So like that's fine. But my thing is, don't extend yourself in buying a PlayStation 5 or Xbox or whatever the case is, and putting yourself, because if you're living paycheck to paycheck, how are you going to pay for it, right? Like you're going to pay for it by going to your credit cards, and that goes back to number one, right? Like that is going in the wrong direction and putting yourself in a deeper hole than you're already in, trying to fulfill your kids or your mom or dad or anyone inside your family, just trying to fill that obligation that you have to you have to do this, right? Like, so like you don't have to do it. And I think that's one of the things you want to make sure you really understand is that gifting is a choice, right? And if it's not, something that helps you when it comes to your financial situation, then you should not be doing it, right? So number three is you're living paycheck to paycheck, or you can't meet the financial needs for your family, with the money that you have coming in, right? So that if you're in that situation, you should not be gifting this holiday season. Again, have a conversation with your family, sit them down, say, hey, listen, we're going to be holding back this holiday, and we may find some different things to do. Draw a picture, right? Develop a painting, get some things, go volunteer with your family, right? These are things that you can do that are for free. You can still spend time. You bring everybody over and have a game night even, right? That's just fun, enjoying each other, enjoying family, but you're not spending money in that way, right? Like, so I think that's one of the big things when it comes to that. And number four is you just got laid off, right? We all see the news right now. Layoffs are happening everywhere when it comes to tech companies, and even GM just announced that they're laying off a number of folks here in Michigan. So like layoffs are happening everywhere. If you have experienced being laid off is a traumatic experience. It's something that typically you don't see coming. And this is a time where, typically you shouldn't be spending any extra funds because you need some more income coming in the door, right? So again, so this is, again, take time, sit down with your family and have these conversations. These are things that you can make sure that you're not put in this position to where you feel shameful that you can't give maybe the way you used to, or trying to make sure you're not in that situation. So again, if you're in one of these situations, and number one was you have high interest consumer debt. Number two, you have no emergency fund set up. Number three, you're living paycheck to paycheck, or you're not being able to even meet the needs. Like you have to choose what bills to pay, for example. You shouldn't be doing that, or you just got laid off. So if you're in any one of those situations, right, like you should not choose your future wealth journey as a Black parent, and make sure you're setting yourself up for success, because just extending $400, $500, $600. I think I saw the average not too long ago. People are spending, planning to spend anywhere between $850 and $900 this holiday season. And obviously that's the average, which means some people are much lower and some people are much higher. So if you're in that situation where you're like, hey, listen, I want to spend all this money on my kids and or family members and bring joy, there's other ways in order to do that that don't require you expending a lot of money. So anyway, that's all I have for this session here, and I look forward to talking to you later. Bye. Hey folks, I just want to thank you for watching the video. And if you enjoyed this content, make sure you like and subscribe to the video. It's going to help us tremendously when we're actually going through the YouTube algorithm. And if you want to know, I also have a club that helps Black parents with personal finance and actually achieve their goals, called the Pumpernickel Club, that you can check out inside the description below if you're interested. So again, like and subscribe, check out the Pumpernickel Club, and we can build wealth together.